I'm here in the OIF 400 gig workshop here in Santa Clara, and I wanted to touch on coherent optics, where the OIF has been a true industry leader in this. The term ZR, specifically 400 ZR, which to everybody's estimation has been wildly successful across the industry and has spurned other developments, was actually the birthplace of that was actually here in the OIF. And it was the hyperscalers wanted to standardize coherent. Of course, the first one was 400 gig, and that was used widely, specifically for DCI, data center interconnect. And that's kind of where that term was coined. As these hyperscale data centers got bigger and bigger, the reaches needed to be longer and the capacity and to support DWDM. That has since turned into 800 gig ZR, which is basically DWDM over 80 kilometers, and also LR, perhaps for shorter reaches, but higher loss than a typical IMDD or PAM4 based system. And the OIF is now working at a family of 1600 to 1.6 terabit ZR and LR interfaces. And as was mentioned in one of our panels earlier today, it may not be first to the forefront when you think of the impact of AI ML. Everybody thinks of inside the rack, inside the data center, with what's terminally called scale up and scale out. But those bits always have to go somewhere, and are specifically stated that as you get more bits inside the building, that is by far going to continue to drive the advent of basically DCI, or between the buildings. And so as AI and ML continues to grow, it's basically raising the whole network capability, and the traditional telecom suppliers are purchasing more. And we see that continuing because the data rates aren't going to slow down. I'm sure we'll have probably a 3200 to 3.2 terabit project that somebody's coming up with. And even outside of the DCI applications, as we go higher and higher data rates, so today at 400 gigabit, we are kind of at 200 gig per lane gigabit, we are limited to about 10 kilometers. And so as the data rates keep increasing, even inside the data center, we see coherent becoming more and more applicable. So not even just between buildings, but within buildings. Because as these data rates go up to 400 gigabit per lane, which is the focus of this workshop, the reaches are about, the longest I've heard is about 2 kilometers, maybe even 1 kilometer. Look at the trade-off. So if you want to go longer than that, or perhaps you have additional loss for something like an optical switch, an OCS, coherent is what is the solution that is best available to adapt that. And once again, as we continue to move forward to higher and higher data rates, coherent just becomes more and more applicable for the industry. And the OIF being the birthplace of the coherent interoperable standards, we continue to see that be the case, and we're looking forward to more coherent focused projects in the future.